sure that we get started on time. My name is Anna, and I am so excited to be here because you guys are in for a really good treat. Today we have Dr. O giving a presentation that you're not going to want to miss. And I know that we are on live on Facebook, so hello everybody on Facebook. If you have any friends that need inspiration or motivation, get them on. And with that, honestly, I just want to say that Dr. O is one of the people that knows how to bring the best out of people. So I definitely just want to get myself out of the way to give him as much time as possible for him to just bless us with his presence. So with that, I am going to get myself out of the way. Dr. O, it's all yours.
All right.
Where is he?
Where is he?
He's hiding. Hello! Today, hello everyone. Good morning. Let me just go, for those who are here, let me just go around real quick. That's right, there she is. Because today's training is going to be fun. So hello one, hello all across the world. And today we're talking about becoming a little extraordinary. So, most of you know that Dr. O is always all over the place. But today, I'm only going to be in one place, this place, talking about how you can become extraordinary. But here's the real truth about becoming extraordinary. So, if you'd like to have the real truth, raise your hand and said, bring it. Bring it. That's it. The real truth about becoming extraordinary. Because for most of you who actually, you do know me, I like to simplify things. I play on words all the time. And the word extra, there you go, ordinary, is just doing the ordinary things with a little extra oomph, with a little something on it. And becoming an extraordinary person, an extraordinary father, an extraordinary mother, an extraordinary business person requires just a little bit more than you do. And the deal is, it is really not that much. So a year seems like a long time when you look at it as a year. But if you break it down, it's either 365 days, it's either 12 months, it's either 52 weeks, however you can look at it, but it's showing up every single day, showing up consistently with a good attitude over a long period of time, with desire and faith, be willing to pay the price. And what's the price? The price is, simply put, this. Be willing to do just a little extra to become extraordinary. And to the average person, I said, like, it's so simple. I know a lot of extraordinary people who do this and do that. And the truth is, those extraordinary people, they do a little for a long time. And the compound effect of them being willing to do a little bit extra to become extraordinary every single day is what makes the difference, right? Becoming extraordinary is doing the thing when it seems like it makes no difference in the act of doing it, when that little thing, whatever it is, makes all the difference anyways. And becoming an extraordinary person is not extraordinary feats. Here's what it is. Write this down. It's a mindset. It's a philosophy. And what's a philosophy? Your philosophy is what you know, how you hold it, and how it affects everything that you do. So for example, if you're the person that does extra, well, what is that extra? So let's talk about that for a second. What is that extra? Who here, show of hands, that maybe if you, traditionally, this is before COVID, and still, If you have to go to work from 9 to 5, you show up pretty much around 8 and you leave around 6, 6:30, right? That's doing extra. There's some people who show up like 8, most of them 8:15, and they want to leave at like 4:30. And they complain about your success. And the thing is, most of the people who do extraordinary work, like I said, it's a philosophy. It simply means that they're always thinking, and here's the one thing an extraordinary person thinks, the one way they think. As a matter of fact, before I give you guys the answer, if you can type into the comment what you think it is that that person show up thinking every single day, that in a sense, that I'm going to give you a clue that they're bringing to the table. What is that one thing you believe? And if you're on Facebook, you can type in the comments what you believe it is too. Positivity, intention. Those are good ones. Awesome, awesome. Anyone else who wants some consistency? Consistency is great teamwork. Yes. Commitment, right? Commitment is doing what you said you're going to do long after the moment you set it in has left you. Aha, there you go. Let's see. Afia. See, I love this chick. And by the way, if you fall in love with my PowerPoint presentation today, that's exactly what she did. She knows the answer. She brought value to me by helping me put this presentation together. I had the thoughts, I had the ideas. Extraordinary people are value focused. They bring value to the marketplace. They bring value to the relationships. They bring value to a husband, value to a wife, value to their kids, value to their neighbor. Here's the one, value to your enemies. You know, who's worse? There's enemies and there's frenemies. The frenemies are worse. Those are the enemies who pretend to be friends. That's why they're frenemies. And an extraordinary person, you know, the song was created for them. I love all of you, right? Value-driven people consistently bring value. So being extraordinary is simply a mindset. And all you have to be willing to do is a little extra every single day, just a little extra. So as we dive a little deeper into this philosophy, here's what I want you to understand, that most people, they're too intoxicated by their past to focus on their future. What do I mean by that? Someone can ask me that question if you feel bold enough. Dr. O, what do you mean by that?
Dr. O, what do you mean by that?
You know, Debbie, I'm glad you asked that question. So let's have a conversation about that. You know, the people who are too focused or too intoxicated, it's like they're in a drunken stupor on their past. Meaning, every time you hear them talk, it's always about the past. The guy from yesteryear talk about how he used to be such a good quarterback, a football player. The girl who's always talking about what she did when, you know, she was miss this or miss that or this and that. And they're focused on the past and they're believing the past is an indication of their future. So Debbie, what do you think? If someone was like, they're busted their butt in, like, for example, one business or a company years ago, is that a true indication of what they're going to do in the future?
I think most people think that, but knowing you, that is not the truth.
That is not the truth. You are absolutely, unequivocally correct. And I think I know why you are so smart, Debbie. It's the curly hair. Smartness runs in the curls. That's what it is. Curls for the girls that are geniuses. Oh, she can't even focus. She can't even focus. That's okay. I love it too. But, you know, the truth is, though, Debbie, so many people are focused on their past. They're in what I call the remembering years. Now, here's what's really important when you remember the future. And somebody is like, remember the future? What does that mean? If anyone wants to ask, what does that mean, Dr. O? Tell me, what does that mean?
What does that mean, Dr. O?
Awesome. Well, you know, I saw Nellie's voice, but she was on mute. So I'm glad you asked that, Nelly, and I'm glad you asked that, Samira. So Samira Nelly. So Samira Nelly, it's like you combine your names together. It's so fun. All right, this is what remembering the future is. We as human beings have the only one distinction between the birds, the bees, and all the animals and the trees in the world, and that is the power of vision. It's the number one skill that we have. They say without vision, people perish. Meaning, if you don't look towards where you're going, you're going to run into everything else. So here's the future, there's the past. If your life is to go forward, which way should you look? Am I really going to hit my goal if I'm constantly looking in the past? No. Here's the deal. Some of us, we have relationships, and this is why it's not good to take the baggage from the old relationship to the new one. Here's how we go. I learned it, trust me. I'm teaching not because I'm a teacher. I'm teaching because I failed doing these things, and I learned from the lessons. Otherwise, I would rinse, wash, repeat. God teaches us in what I call, write this down, the shampoo formula. Rinse, wash, repeat. If you don't get the lesson. Oh, you didn't learn? Rinse, wash, repeat. Oh my gosh, my life sucks. Well, stop sucking. Do a little extra. Do a little different. So here's a demonstration of what most people do. They are living life, supposed to be moving forward, but here they are in the back. How am I, if I'm supposed to go for the right woman, but I'm talking about this woman who did me, I'm bringing the baggage into another relationship, I'm going to miss what's in front of me. But if I'm so focused on the future, I tend to literally not focus and not forget the past, but I'm not focused on the past. Is this making sense? If this is making sense, in the comments, just put sense. You can put it as sense, C-E-N-T-S or S-E-N-S-E, doesn't matter. And if you put C-E-N-T-S, then I know I'm getting paid. But in business, if it makes sense, it makes dollars. So the truth is, we want to be future focused. Extraordinary people bring value. Write this down. They are future paced. Future paced. So remember the future. What is remembering the future? Remembering the future is seeing what you want, visualizing it, and saying the affirmations, taking the actions to get you there. Remember the future. And why? Because the future is what you create of it. And all you have to do every day is keep showing up consistently with a good attitude, be future paced instead of intoxicated by your past, so that you can become extraordinary. Now, I'm gonna give you an example because you guys know I like examples. But just be a miracle, not again. But before I give you this example, understand this philosophy also. Most people fail because they are destination orientated and not journey focused. Well, what does that mean? Who'd like to know what that means? Somebody said, what does that mean, Dr. O? Awesome. Samira, she raised her hand. So if you'd like to know what that means, just in the comments here or on Facebook, just say, what does it mean? What does it mean? Here's what it means to be journey focused instead of destination oriented. You know, the destination is what's important. For example, let's say if you're building a business and your goal is to achieve a certain goal, let's just put that to a financial mark and say $1 million. $1 million is great, but you can't just wake up and open your eyes and there's $1 million. You're focusing on the destination, the journey. How are you going to earn that million? From doing what? It just means that you want to show up consistently with a good attitude, doing whatever it is. If it's the business, it's doing what's required of you. It's not what you want, it's what you're committed to. Remember, commitment is doing the thing you said you're going to do. And here's the deal. Every day, do a little extra. So you can get there a little extra faster. When you embrace the journey is all about the extra. Or as I said, the extra. If you want extra, you get extra money too. So you have to be a little more focused on the journey. And the journey is embracing the suck. We talk about success earlier in the week in the training. Embracing the suck, being more journey focused, meaning like, you know what? What am I going to do today that is going to help me? What extra? You know, this morning, my wife and I just finished our workout. Whoo! Did we do a lot of extra? Yesterday, we switched today's workout with yesterday's workout. Somehow. Boy, did we do a little extra, but it's okay. Why is that important? You know, recently, because I've been cleansing, my nutritional intake need shifted. So I started finding myself, even though I'm working out, doing healthier, the results wasn't coming as I wanted because I realized at night, we stay up and come down after the work is finished, and I started getting hungrier at night. And then I realized I started like eating more food, and I was like, change. How do I change to get extra? I'm still hungry. I want to feed my body nutritionally. So I put it into my mind, even though, and here at night, I'm craving the stuff that you're not supposed to eat. Like, I was like, oh, it'd be so good to have a quesadilla right now. Get up to go get it. No, I said, extra discipline. Let me go get this shake up in here. I got my shake. Now, even though I felt like having, I'm telling myself, I felt like having a little extra, like dessert. I said, okay, no problem. It's a shake. I took a shot of Bailey's and I put it in there. So I still get a little bit of my, dessert with my shake. Right? But it was a shot. It wasn't too much. It was well, that's what I wanted, something that's going to make me feel good. So I put a little bit, just shot of Bailey's, put it in the shake. It was a good shake. I went to sleep pretty good. Pretty fast too, as Anna said, right? But the journey, day to day, what's my struggle? I don't fight the struggle. I embrace it. I'm like, oh, look, I'm not going to go all bad. I'm not going to go all good, but just a little extra, you know, just a little bit. I have to reward me too. I can be sexy and drunk at the same time. No, right? But anyways, embrace the journey. Be journey focused. Focus on the day to day instead of what's going on. Because when you put in a little extra every day, that extra adds up. Do you know 0.1 of an inch times 365 is an entire foot at the end of the year? And you don't see that 0.01 adding up until the end of the year. Right? We don't see it. We don't see that almost invisible nuclei of a cell that every single one of us was. Listen, the DNA instructor, the moment we were conceived, could have actually, just for each and every one of you, could have fit on the tip of a needle point. And in 9 months, every single day, we all grew into this wonderful baby that all our moms give birth to. Round of applause to all the beautiful women, all the amazing ovens in the world that bake us to perfection. I love it, right? My mom had a baker's dozen. You guys know what a baker's dozen is? It's like 13, an extra one for them to taste. I was number 13. She was looking, her and my dad was looking to make the perfect child. They had 12 attempts. Number 13 showed up. I was extraordinary from birth. Hey, just saying. All right, so anyways, let's get serious. So here's the example I wanted to share with you. My wife, Anita, that little sexy vixen over there with Miracle, she had 2 goals. And her goal to her was very simple. How did she become extraordinary at it? Becoming a wife and becoming a mother. Well, from day one, I told her she was going to be my wife. She told me I was crazy, but she already knew she liked me. She did. She was just kind of flirting and trying to avoid. She was positively avoiding what was going to happen anyway. She's over here laughing. So those 2 goals for her, wife and mother. Now, listen, she could have been someone else's wife and be the mother of someone else's kid, because that happens a lot. But her goal was for it to be with the same person. So her husband is her baby daddy. I'm so excited. So good. And I just can't hide it. But for her, the philosophy and the mentality, all of it started at the same time. So a lot of us, what she set as a goal, then she start with the law of attraction. Here's the deal. The law of attraction says this, and this is what a lot of people miss. The law of attraction is really the law of action. You can sit there and cross your legs and float in the air and hum, hum, ho, wait for it to come to attract to you. But without any action, it doesn't happen. And in the word action, ACT is the part that's really important because action causes traction. She still moved in the direction of her goal. And look at that sexy little thing we created together.
Our boss.
Right? Remember, becoming extraordinary is a philosophy. Because your philosophy drives your action. Why? Because what you think influences what you say. What you say gives life. And when you give life to what you say, because life and death is in the power of the tongue, you take action on that. And here's the deal. Most people who may not believe that, it doesn't matter. It works that way, whether someone believes it or not. So it doesn't matter. These are universal facts, universal laws, universal truths. That the action creates traction. So if you don't do nothing, there is no pull. You can keep speaking life all day long. But if you don't take action in accordance with the life that you're bringing into the world, then nothing will happen. So here's another key piece to it. So she set a goal. She spoke and gave it life. She started taking action, even though, look, at first, she didn't like me. She also thought I was too good for her, whatever. Right? That's her words, not mine.
Yes, and other thoughts.
Right? And she says, and other thoughts. What were those other thoughts? Come on, let's share. Since we're sharing, come on.
Okay.
Listen, here are the other thoughts.
Well, when I first met him, he's not a bad-looking guy. He's handsome. So every time I saw him, he was
sexy in there too?
And sexy.
Thank
Every
you.
time I saw him, he was with a different girl. So
Womanizer.
So I thought he was a womanizer because I got to see him like with different girls all the time. Remember, though, we were in a network marketing business, so he was bringing prospects, with the quotation marks, because I would talk to different people, and I told him, you need to be very clear when you're talking to your prospects because their thinking is a different kind of date. So this is where I really had to pay attention, because when it comes down to, for me at least, when I came down to gonna date, I wasn't dating anybody without the intention of marrying them. So if he was gonna be a great friend, I understood that. But
so what changed?
The consistency and the determination of him was what changed for me, because I saw him week after week bringing different people, prospects, mm-hmm. And then I started to realize but remember, everybody makes their own story in their head. Whatever they want to hear, they hear. What is being said to you is not what you're hearing, it's what you want to be said to you. So you twist it yourselves. So then I started to realize that, and that's where I got to know his accolades of him being a psychologist. So he is, I used to call, he's very good with his words.
He's eloquent.
Yes, very eloquent with his words. I know you want more. So yeah, that's what I thought. So there were lots of thoughts going in my head, and one of them was, okay, I need to be careful because I do not want to put myself out there and then not be reciprocated. So you're welcome.
Miracle wants more ice cream. Thank you. So as you see, I have to put in extra for her. Why? Because here's the deal. In my book, Today's the Day, chapter 4 talks about we perform to the level of our belief. So she believed that I was a womanizer. Ooh, baby. Ooh. That's what she thought. So when I said, it took us 7 years for the whole thing to have done. 3 years, she was just like, I don't know. Whatever. So imagine all the extra I had to put in. A lot of extra work. a lot of extra time. And after 3 years, then we started dating. For another 3 years, she was still watching. She was like a bird on a perch. I don't know. Nah, I don't know about this one. Right? She's almost like that parrot. 3 more years. So 6 years. And then finally, so I wasn't asking her anything. Finally, she got tired. She's like, I'm going to take him off the market. You want to get married? And I was like, well, sure. Extraordinary. Right? So the actions, the consistent actions that I was taking caused enough traction to then magnetize her to me emotionally. Is this making sense? Because it has nothing to do with what she wanted to attract. It have everything to do with how I act. And love is simply one thing. Love is action. See, the action creates an emotion that we feel euphoric and call it love. Love isn't a thing. Love is action, consistent action, persistent action towards an end result. Now, here's the deal. This law of attraction and law of action, it works for happiness too. Here's the deal. The founders of the United States, of these United States of America, they knew this, and it's why they actually promised the pursuit of happiness on our currency. They didn't promise us happiness. They promised us the pursuit of it. And what is the pursuit? The pursuit is embracing the journey, not the destination. Right? The pursuit, not the result. The result is the destination. The pursuit is the journey. So America guarantees you a pursuit. You'll keep working to get to that end result. Have to take a little action. It's very important. Like if you understand what I'm sharing here, this is very, very powerful to understand. It's the journey, not the destination. So with that in said, let's move to the next one, the law of manifestation. Because manifestation equals the results. Now here's the law of manifestation broken down in one simple word. All you have to do is ask. And the law of manifestation simply states this. In the ask, first there is the actual asking. The physical ask, the words. Now the A is ask, the S is to seek, and the K is to knock. Well, ask and it shall be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it will be open. Notice that all 3 syllables to manifest something are action verbs. It's all action oriented, meaning you can't get nothing without doing nothing. My mother always used, you know those parables your parents would say to you? As my mom's West Indian, obviously we're from Guyana, my mom would say, bye, 0 from 0, left 0. Do nothing, get nothing. I was just wondering, what's she talking about? It was the law of manifestation. Say you want something, open your mouth. That means simply, would you like something? Open your mouth and ask. She said, if you want to find something, go look for it. That's what my mom used to say. If the door closed, open it or break it down. That's what my mom used to say.
Do it again. Say it again.
I should say, oh, look, Anna's getting all excited and she loves when.
I love when he uses his accent. Like
that. Kiss on me.
Oh.
Yeah, she likes that. Right? My mom always used to say, you want the door open? Open it or break it down. Don't make nobody hold the door behind you. What she's saying is, don't let anyone be in the way of your success or your progress. Don't blame anyone. Take responsibility for your action. Give just a little more extra every single day. Oh, you think you put in this much? You want to get to the goals fast? This is how you are able to compress time frames. Maximum effort equals maximum impact. Write that down. Maximum effort equals maximum impact. Maximum impact equals maximum effort. It's the same thing. It's reciprocal. But here's the cool thing about it. There's this philosophy out there, and I want to correct it for every one of you here in our family to know this. There is no such thing as, 110% or 120%. There's just people who talk about, look, it just sounds good. Every day I give 120. You cannot give above 100% of what you're capable of. It is impossible. The best you can do is your 100%. And if today, literally, you can only do 100 push-ups, that is 100%. If you do that for a month, you might be able to do 120. No, you're not doing 120%. That is the new 100%. So if every day you do a little extra, that extra is your 100%. So if you follow that philosophy of, you know, give 110%, or I give 110, I do 120, no, 100, 200, no. All that means is that you are playing small, you're performing below average when you don't need to. And when you say, oh, you know what? I'm going to do my best, or I'm going to go above average. Now you're going to give 200%. It's like today you're going to go all out. Well, that's the first time you're doing 100%. Well, that 100%, it's just a little extra, just doing the best you can. Here's a scenario. Scientifically, water boils at 212 degrees. At 211, it's just hot water. You know, if you want to boil a frog and you throw it into 212 degrees of water, it'll jump up, gone. But you can put that frog in water, turn on the stove, and turn the degree up gradually. This is what most of us humans do too. Turn it up to 211, and that frog will stay there until it boils and pop. Most of us, we will stay in the same hurtful situation, relationship, business, people talking, treating us bad. It's like a dog sitting on a nail, and we'll continue to complain. And we'll stay in it 1 degree, that 1 degree, that little difference. Because sometimes it's speaking up for ourselves. Sometimes it's not taking crap from anybody else. That one thing. Oh, but I'm just trying to be nice. Every time you hear yourself use the word try, replace it with this definition. Trying is preparation to fail. So I'm just trying to be a millionaire, then you're preparing to fail. I'm just trying to tell him, but you're failing. I'm going to give you a change of philosophy at the end of this one, though. It's all good. It's fun. So excited. The more you try without actually doing, it's like, here's the deal. I'm going to pick on Debbie because Debbie is my favorite pick on person. She just her. Let's say me and Debbie was sitting in a bar and I was trying to kiss Debbie. Would I ever kiss Debbie? Nope.
I will beat you up.
She will beat me up. Now, here's the deal. If I try to kiss Debbie, she won't do nothing. If I kiss Debbie, she'll beat me up. Isn't that the truth, Debbie? It's like,
yes, true.
Yeah. It's like so many guys walk into the bar that want to talk to a cute girl. Then dog, I've been trying to talk to her all night long. 2 friends show up. One of them talking about like, man, that chick is fly. I'm gonna get up in a minute, man. He's drinking. Why is he drinking? He's trying to develop liquid courage to go talk to her. And the other friend was like, here's what he's doing. He's now painting the vision into the friend of how good she is. And the friend got tired of getting the vision. He got up and he went over and talked to her. Now he's mad. It's your fault. You took your vision, give it to someone else. So here's the deal. In business, you can't blame someone else for telling them something and they get up and go do it because you didn't. Why? Because you were trying the whole time. I was just trying. Stop trying and do. You can't try to love no. I've been trying to love him all my life. Well, that's why you didn't love him and it didn't work. You tried to love him. Man, I've been trying to love them all. No, you tried. You cannot try and succeed. You can only do and succeed. And most of us try because we don't want to make the mistake. Make the mistake and correct for the mistakes. That's the extra. Be willing to make the mistake anyways. Be willing to shift the way you look at bringing things into your life. This is how the law of manifestation works. You have to ask for what you want. You have to go look for it. And you have to knock on the doors that are closed to open by asking. Is this making sense? If it's making sense, it's in the comment, just type sense. If you're on Facebook, put sense too. It's making sense. Now, your life comes down to the decisions. If you change your decisions, you change everything. Every single day, there's two roads in front of us. The road to do extra to get what you want in the direction you're going, or the road not to. And if you choose the road less traveled, as a matter of fact, what do you believe is the road less traveled? Type in your answer. What do you believe is the road less traveled? On Facebook too. What do you believe is the road less traveled? I'll give you a hint as we're typing in. The road less traveled is what we're talking about today. So what do you believe is the road less traveled? So the hard way with the small tribe, the comfort zones, those are all good ones. The difficult road, right? The uncomfortable road, what others are not taking, the journey, good, smart one. the roads, right? It's beautiful, but here's the road, not travel. I gave you the hint. It's in the title. It's extra. The road less travel is the extra road. It's the extra thing. It's the extra mile. It's the extra 20 feet. When I was training folks how to run a marathon in virtually 6 weeks, it was simple. Start off by walking for the first week. You're not running the whole week. Listen, I'll give you guys extra. How do you run a marathon and be successful in 6 weeks? First week, you walk a mile. But every day you walk that mile. And every time you finish that mile, you go a little extra. It's a methodical process. So you walk the mile that first day, and then you go an extra 500 meters, which is the equivalent to a football field, right? So you walk a mile, you walk 5 extra. The next day, it's the same distance now. That's the new distance, the mile and the 500. And every day you do 500 extra. You just walk that. Take your time, you're great. The next week, you run it. And the following week, you go extra and extra and extra. It's not that much, but that little extra discipline every single day added up over the next 6 weeks. Before you know it, you're in a marathon. I ran for 28 minutes at a full sprint, basically. Some people will say it's impossible. You can Google or YouTube. I think it was like Obom running. My wife caught it. 28 minutes at a full sprint, 29.2 miles per hour. Like, is that possible? I was on a treadmill without a governor in Mexico, holding on to it, and I'm just going. And here's how I did that. This came from when my back was all jacked up. I started walking and doing again a little extra every single day. What I did was I closed my eyes. I listened to a book, reading. Most of us listen to music. And then a doctor told me, stop listening to music because naturally your brain and your heart rate wants to bring the cadence together. So you start to have this irregular heart rate running and you get tired from trying to run to the momentum of the music. And we don't realize it is a subconscious thing we do. So we start listening to a book and you're listening to the cadence of a person's voice. And you start to breathe naturally. And I close my eyes, and every time I would get up, when I feel comfortable, I would just add one bit up on the treadmill. Feel comfortable for another minute or so, I add one other bit. And I was on there, and we just, just until one day, and I kept thinking my eyes are closed, and I'm on there just kind of jogging, keeping my pace, keeping my breath, listening to the book. Then all of a sudden, the treadmill couldn't go any further, and realized I'm cooking, I'm smoking. So we wanted to test this theory out. We went to Canada. Canada has a governor in theirs too, but Mexico, they don't care. It's like how fast you can run. The machine will take you there, bro. So we did this for like 6 months though. And Anna put up a video. It's like almost I think it's like 45-second glimpse of towards the end. I'm dripping in sweat. I'm on there. I looked really good too. But you see my foot, it was glowing. So basically I ran a 2.5 minute mile. Some people say it's impossible to do. I got proof. You don't have to believe it. I didn't ask my wife to do it. She was just so impressed to be next to this extraordinary man of hers. Right? But there's proof. Somewhere on YouTube, there's a link of it with me running. You can go check it out yourself. But travel the road less traveled is the place you want to be. That's how you become extra. Right? So, oh, there you go. Here we go. There's more to learn from failure than there is from success. And I want to kind of pause on this one for a second. Because of all the successes I have, it didn't come from me being successful. It came from me failing everything else. I have more lessons from failure than I do from success. The reason I have a successful marriage is because I had one that failed. I want you guys to really get that. The reason I have a very successful marriage now is I had one that failed. And here's the deal. I'm not perfect. After I stopped blaming my ex-wife, I paid attention. I learned the lessons. And then here's the deal. Success in any endeavor is knowing what works, multiplying it. So knowing what works, abandoning what doesn't, and always knowing the difference. So what I knew worked, I multiplied that with Anna. And now she gets the benefit from this extraordinary husband. Why am I saying this? And why am I, the point here, the lesson here is this. Be willing to fail. Go out and fail. Now, failure is not fatal. Most of us are afraid of failure. Embrace it. Embrace the journey. The failure is the suck. You can't have success without the suck. You have to embrace the suck. So that I know you got this one because it's very powerful. Whether it's here or on Facebook, type in the word failure. Type in the word failure. Let it flow through your fingertips and know that it's actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Failure is healthy. A child fails, I don't know how many times we call it trying to walk, falling down and getting up. And it's not about the 10 times you fall down, it's the 11 times you get up. In the world of Christianity, they say faith. A saint is just a sinner who fall down and get back up. There's even a song about it. For a saint is just a sinner who fell down and got up. So just get up more often than you fall down and you will succeed. So that fear that we all have, know this. What we fear is not what we do. What we fear is basically creating a known result from a situation which you haven't even experienced yet. So listen, I want you guys to really get this part right now. And I'm going to come back on camera for this. I want you to really get this. And you can write it down. The most successful people on the planet are those who were failures. Because listen, if you understand to live in the future is to live in the future proactively to be successful. And then most of us who create this fear of a result that's already in our mind cripples us to move. They're holding on to that, therefore they can't let it move. So people who are living in fear are the most successful than those who are living by faith. Faith is trusting that what you believe in will happen. Fear is holding on to what you believe will happen and manifesting that. Do you guys get this? because we perform to the level we believe. So some people say like they don't honestly on a deep level believe they're going to be like a millionaire. They don't think it's too good for them, but then they say like, yeah, I want to be a millionaire. And they say it all. I'm saying it in my affirmations, but they don't believe it at the core level, on the subconscious level, on a deep level. They believe that if you really ask them like, well, you know, no one in my family's never been, and the doubts. They are so strong into that belief that if they do something and they're starting to get successful and start to earn a couple $100,000, they're going to be like, well, it's uncomfortable to earn that much money. But the truth is the million isn't just going to show up. So that uncomfortableness of doing the things that they weren't doing before to get the results that they never had makes them uncomfortable, and then they creatively avoid doing the extra. And that, my friends, is called self-sabotage. We perform to the level we subconsciously believe. We perform to that level. The things we really believe on the inside. What mom and dad told you, you'll never be successful. Why do most of us, even though we know mom and dad is wrong, why do we believe them? Because right now, for Miracle, she believes in the authority of mom and dad. And what mom and dad says is true. So for the years that mom and dad tell you that, or the person who loves you could be a husband who spoke to a wife and told her she would never amount to nothing, she has no way to succeed. Why? Because that's the authority in her life that she believed that loves and trusts her. So if the person who loves and trusts her tells her she's nothing, which by the way, that's manipulation. Sometimes for those dudes, I just want to catch them and punch them in the face, give them the one-handed slap. It's all good. Because they're holding that person back. And if any of you have ever been in that situation or know someone, it's almost, if they believe it, if they stay in that condition, there's no room for that wife to grow. There's no room for that husband to grow. And if we know that or have been in that situation, or you ever find yourself in it, the people who truly love you, here's the deal. If they see something wrong, they will also tell you how to fix it. Not like, oh, you're so stupid. And you might say, oh, he's just being funny. No, he's not. But you're collecting and storing all those files he's putting in your brain that you're so stupid, and subconsciously you believe you're stupid. Or if it's this little thing you're doing, he says, well, you're never going to amount to nothing, then you believe that. So let's focus on our belief. Let's not let the fear drive us into a place that does not exist. So remember that there's two halves to the definition of fear that I have created so long ago. The first half is fear is the anticipation of a future pain. That's why we try to avoid those things by creating a known result from what you fear. And since you haven't experienced it yet, that's what pretty much most people suffer. So we tend to fear and look at failure as such a bad thing, but it is not. Failure in anything is how you identify what you need to do right. What a novel idea. To become extraordinary, to become more successful. I don't know if you guys, I make more mistakes, like literally every day. In the Bible, they say that David was the apples of God's eye. Listen, this dude created even premeditated murder. How did he become the apple of God's eye? Here's the deal. He made every mistake in the book. He just never made them twice. He made the mistake and then he learned from it. He corrected for the mistake. He wrote the book of Psalms. Look in the Bible, in the book of Psalms, how many chapters in that one? And all the songs of Psalms. Listen, the dude made so many mistakes. He wrote about them. He learned from them. And he said, well, why was he the apple of God's eye? Well, he made so much mistakes. He wasn't as good as that person. Well, when you look at it, even for the Christianity in the Bible, it says, listen, God looks at the heart. In the heart, the dude was repentant. And he repented and never did it again. It's like the husband or the wife would cheat on the person and they never did it again. But the person who repeats it and makes excuses all the time, or look, you made me slap you. Everybody made you inside take your hand and slap me. They didn't do that. That personality is called a narcissistic one. So the failure is not failing at the same thing without learning the lesson. See, this is what most people get it mixed up. Failure is healthy. Hate is healthy too. You just have to hate the right things. Hate the wrong things for the right reason. Hello, as Medea would say, hello. So, hate is healthy when you know what to hate. The things you don't like about yourself, you should actually hate those things. You know, like procrastination, oversleeping, lack of integrity. Because integrity is doing the thing you should do when nobody else is watching. Some people only do it right when people are watching. No wonder they fail. Because mostly people are only watching you like 3 to 5 or 10, at most 10% of the times. The other 90% of the times you're doing it out of integrity, and then they're like, I don't know why is that happening for me? Why? Because you're out of integrity. You're wrong. Back leaders. Right? Hate the things that keep you from the things or the person you are destined to become. Folks say, Obom, hate's a strong word. Yes. And that's okay. Hate wrong, so you do right. Hate bad, so you do good. Hate slow, so you go fast. You guys get it? Isn't it funny? It's the little extra. Right? It's all it is. It's flipping the coin. Becoming extraordinary means just doing a little extra. Now, that which you do not hate, you will eventually tolerate. I'll say it again. That which you do not hate, you will eventually tolerate. Now, as my wife says, like, he's so good with words. I know it sounds kind of cutesy wootsy. What you don't hate, you tolerate, but it's a fact. Basically, if you don't hate it, you will let it continue to be in your life. Now, for the men or for the women, it's easier sometimes to use this because it happens more in the world. And I like stomp it out. For the man that abuses the woman, it doesn't matter what the reason is. If she doesn't hate that fact or hate him enough to leave, she will continue to tolerate being abused. Now, we go through mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse. It's in every financial abuse, not from a spouse. Some of us are in a job getting financially abused because we don't want to get off our assets, put in a new application to work somewhere else. So it's just like, well, you know, it helps me pay the bills, girl. So that's why I'm here. It helps me pay the bill, take care of the family, man. So yeah, we're running on empty. You have to hate or you will tolerate. If you stop the hate, then you can appreciate. Hello. You don't like being late? Hate it. Show up early. It's a little more effort. It's a little extra. In the Marine Corps, on time is 15 minutes before we start. Late is on time. If you show up anytime after, don't even worry showing up. You're done. Is this making sense? If this is making sense, type sense in the comments. Whether it's here on the live Zoom or on Facebook, type in sense. Because we're about to hit the home stretch and wrap this up. That which you do not hate, you will tolerate. I can start a whole new record with that. That which you don't hate, you will tolerate. Come and assassinate, annihilate. Right? We can go all crazy with it. So if you're seeking success, but you don't hate the things that naturally make you unsuccessful, then you're missing a huge piece. That is the piece of appreciation, y'all. If we don't start hating the things that don't get us to be successful, and that's in life, love, relationships, finance, family, you name it, it's all there. You have to appreciate. Just say it. Okay, so you want to be able to grow like strawberries. You know, strawberries, they taste real good. And they're sweet and juicy, and we love them. America loves strawberries too. But strawberries grow in some messed up soil. That means beauty can come out of ugly situations, circumstances. All this is saying is really when you know your value, you bring value to the marketplace. This is what extraordinary people do. Know your value in your situation, act like the person you know yourself to be, and eventually you'll emerge a flower too. You blossom, shine bright like a diamond. Well, diamonds come out of the rough. They come from dirty situations too. A diamond is nothing more than a coal that's put in enough shine to have that glitter. And remember, I said I'm going to put a twist on the try. Here's the deal. When you, in this phraseology, the trying is failing. In order to triumph, if you don't try, there is no umph. So that means you want to be able to do it, fail, get up, learn. Don't repeat the mistakes, correct for the mistakes. That's the try that you need. In order to triumph, you must try. If you don't try, there is no umph. And last philosophy to understand, and then we'll wrap it up in the next slide, is this. Do the thing and you'll have the power. What is the thing? The thing is that little extra. Do the extra so that you can have the power. We all want that power to become extraordinary. But you know what's even more powerful? What's even more powerful is be willing to embrace the journey. What's more powerful is be willing to know that it is not easy. What's more powerful is be willing to know that it is not easy, but you're willing to do it, that you're willing to triumph, that you're willing to fail, that you're willing to fail forward. And how do you fail forward? You stand up, you say, you know what? Thank you, I learned, I fall down, I scraped my knee. It's okay, get a Band-Aid, put it on there. Put some bacitracin on it, it doesn't matter. What does the bacitracin of life? You fail, you get up, you ask for advice. You seek clarity. You knock on the doors that are closed so someone open it and you ask for help. Help is not a sign of weakness. It's a show of strength. It is the greatest way that you can show how strong you are, by asking. And the thing is, when we're younger, we're extraordinary. As kids, without any files of the world, when we're hungry, we cry. When we learn to speak, we ask. And then our brains get lit up with candy, and then we ask for it all the time until our parents give it to us. How many of us are parents and you give your kids candy because they keep asking all the time? Here's the deal. You don't want to give it to them. You know why you give it to them? Because they don't shut up. We give them the candy, not for the candy. We give them the candy to shut them up. So what's the point? The point is this. You want to succeed? Be a kid again. Ask, seek, and knock. Stop caring about what other people think about you. Know your value, grow through your circumstances, do a little extra, and become extraordinary. Right? Last piece. I fell in love with Sade when I was younger, and she sang a song. This is no ordinary love. No ordinary love. The ordinary love is the thought of love. The extraordinary love is the continual action of loving someone. Because when you love your husband or your wife, your boyfriend or girlfriend, your kids, in spite of when they're acting a fool, that's you doing a little extra, become extraordinary. So family, ladies and gentlemen, today I hope you enjoy your training. This is the truth about becoming extraordinary. And I love you. I thank each and every one of you for plugging in there on Facebook too. Thank you so much for participating and sharing with us. Today at 3 o'clock, I'll see you with Medea again at 3 o'clock. At 3 p.m., we'll have a question and answer period. Thank you all for being on. I hope this was a blessing for you. Once the recording is done and up, we'll get it out so you can get it to the family. But for now, those of you, if you want the recording, it's on Facebook. Share it with your friends and family. But remember, it's just a little extra every single day. And with that, God bless you. I love you. See you all at 3. Bye for now. We'll chat soon. Bye, everyone.